Okay, I see the stream now. Huh. Okay. Okay. First off, this is just a sketch drawing I did at work. Um, kind of trying to like create a using Krita. Um, trying to use more dynamic posing, whatever. Um, need to get better at it. The character in this is called Sonia Var. Let's see. Cat is here. She really wants to be petted, but I can't right now. I'm drawing, or about to. Okay, whatever. Okay. Anyway, so this is the character. This is actually like I guess the best image of her, and so that's basically what I'm trying to do. And like one thing very interesting is that I actually originally drew her like this, but I didn't like. Well, not that I didn't like it. I couldn't really figure out how to pose the leg, so I just did it like this. Whatever. Additionally, in the hidden layers, there's this, which, let's see, go back one. It shouldn't be too far. Okay. There we go. Not necessarily the same character, but same species, same race. Here's another image of that race. Once more. Over here is this guy. There we go. There's two drawings. Well, again, here's a female version. Again, standing in a standing position. Here's another character of that same race. This one in the middle. By the way, the one that I'm going to be drawing today will be of this one, this race. This one on the far left Again, there's a drawing. There's a female one, and here is a drawing of a male one. Okay, but back to whatever it was that I was about to do. Will I be able to draw with the cat here? Okay, it should be enough to explain. This is the previous night that what was it that I drew? Right, it's one of the playable characters, Sienna. This was another one, Yol. Right, here's Yol and Sienna. So today I will be drawing this one over here, which is the 1, 2, 3, fourth one from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rilo. So I'll be drawing this guy. His name is Rilo. And here's a slightly better look of him, which is this guy in the second guy over here. So I'll be drawing that guy, Rilo. So for that, let me close this and new file. Okay, cat, I'm gonna be needing my arm now. Sorry, cat. Sorry, cat. There we go. Okay, cat. You can stay here at the side. Just not right in front of my screen. So let me make you some room. Put this stuff away. Okay. Shoot. Okay, there you go. Meow meow. Okay. But now, do not go to the space, for I will be using it to draw. And what would I draw? I won't go too fancy. He is not actually too tall. This should be okay. Middle. There we go. Over here, one thing, they are thin and lanky a bit. Okay, just really quick before I continue. Where is it again? There we go. Back to my DeviantArt page. Well, over here we have your story, which is this character, and now this one is Nilo's story. Rilo. Nico burst into the basement carrying Carla on his shoulder. Nico, Truco, Sirama, and Rilo arrived. Then Truco, Sirama, and Rilo, Sirama, and Rilo, Sirama, and Rilo, then just but yeah, this is the story of what's gonna go on in what the game. It's play all this is playable by the character, by the player. And honestly, this is just one way that the story may unfold. There's, depending on the player's choice, there's different, right? I had it like each paragraph is like a place where a player can choose to do and what the outcome is. It will, then what will it choose, the outcome, choice, so on and so forth. But if the choices are different, the outcome will be different. So I guess while I'm drawing this, spoilers. Okay. Actually, let me put this one. I'll place it over here. Place it over here. Yep. Okay, the cat is blocking that screen, but it's not the one that I'm drawing at. Okay, so like this guy, his name is Rilo. His race is lore, Lor, lore, male. Maybe like around mid to late 20s. And he works at a farm. And actually it's a very well, not a similar setting to Yo's story. I kind of like at one point I was like, man, these two plays are very similar. Maybe I should change it or something. But like, you know what? I like the settings, the environment. They may be similar. But I like it. It fits into the narrative, so I'm gonna keep it. Right, by that I mean, for both, the region is controlled by essentially a quarterly trade point node. By that I mean, okay, the quarterly are famous by two things, are notorious for two things. One is a corrupt form of government, similar to organized crime. And the second one is trade. And the third one is well, okay. One interesting thing about Corley is that, unlike many other species, is that they have no nation of their own. They're just wandering merchants in a way. So how can they have a government? There's like this merchant web, merchant chain, supply chain of how the Corley move product from one point to another. to be sold from one point to another. So it takes place in one of those quarterly nodes, quarterly merchant points, whatever, checkpoints. And they're both basically the same thing. They are to get how would it be said? Okay, I didn't type anything. Raw material. There we go. Raw material. And again, for both cases, it's similar kind of raw material. It's a node that takes in products from farms. That's the main thing about it. So there's farms surrounding those two towns. And basically those farms give their product to the core leaf for them to sell. And of course they get a cut of the profits. Right? And the farm surrounding that town basically moves their product from their farms to the town, and then from the town the Corley take it from there. They move it wherever it needs to be moved, wherever they can sell it, and like I said, profit. Well, okay, the thing is not necessarily profit, but the Corley maintains the farms basically. So for Yo's story, a Corley enforcer was gonna go and collect tribute, a form of tax, right? Was gonna collect tax from the farms. For on Rilo's story, the thing that is going on, that some sort of injustice is being placed upon one of the farms, right? Some sort of, mostly like fraud, falsifying documents, stuff like that. So the boss, right, the main guy of that owns that farm, which will be Rilo's boss, right over here in the story. Over here, the boss concludes that unless luck favored Truco and he completed the mission, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. Right, so there's this character, the boss. Not to be confused with Big Boss or the boss. It's just one more boss, right? I like to use this drawing a lot. The boss is this guy. This guy on Rilo's left, our right. There's another worker of the farm, and so are this one, and what? Yeah, she's also a worker of the farm. Okay, wait. Is she? Yeah, I think it is. Man, I should really annotate more. Okay, because I know she's the governor and she's the sheriff, the antagonist of the story. Okay, no, she is the governor. Okay, wait, who's the governor? Okay, let me go back and read the story. Okay, there's the mayor, the sheriff, the mayor. Okay, wait. Okay, there's Nico and Rilo. Those are the two lore. Truco and Sarama are the two Jin. Carla is one of the Corli, alongside the sheriff and the mayor are also Corli. Okay, whatever. Either way, that's not relevant. So yeah, there's some sort of fraudulent activity involving falsifying documents uh, in the farm that Rilo works at. Okay, how come the color changed? Oh, because I'm drawing on the wrong layer. And the boss essentially okay, falsifying documents on the boss's farm, and there's an inspector passing by the town, and so the boss decides to go and steal those documents to show it to the inspector, and hopefully things could be set straight. In this expedition to recover the documents, the boss is accompanied by, what was it, 5 other individuals: Nico, Truco, Shirama, Rilo, and Carla. Join the boss in their attempt to get those documents to show it to the inspector. However, things go bad. The sheriff finds out. They get separated, and they meet back at a basement in the farm. Right, the first paragraph is: as Nico burst into the basement carrying Carla on his shoulder. When he lays her down to rest, she had already succumbed to her wounds. He is distraught, but isn't giving him a moment to grief. Shirama asks about their boss. He remains unaccounted. Shirama and Rilo arrive in the basement first, followed by her brother, Truco. He was supposed to be the boss's partner, but they were split up as they fled the mayor's office. Nico just arrived with Carla. Only the boss is missing. He could be killed, he could have been captured, he could have been wounded, he could be hiding, whatever it may be. They can't just leave the boss alone. He risked more than anyone else on this raid. Not just for himself, but for all his farmers as well. They need to help him. Nico reluctantly leaves Carla's side, and all 4 leave. So yeah, that's how the story starts. At that point, you get control of the player, right? You can start well, technically as soon as Nico enters the basement carrying Carla, the player gains control of the character. And depending on decisions taken, various things that can happen. Uh, there are different outcomes. Some more positive than others. The story posted on my DeviantArt has a negative outcome. There's an even more negative outcome that could happen, and of course there could be positive outcomes, even more positive outcome. And there's three main decisions to take. Like was established, Carla passes away, so she succumbed to her wounds. Those wounds were inflicted by the sheriff. So one of the decisions that could be made is to go after the sheriff. Next is basically the main reason they did all this, getting those documents to show it to the inspector. So should they go and get those documents again? Try to get them again? And third, the boss is missing. Should they go and try to find the boss? Maybe he needs rescuing, maybe he's wounded, hiding, give him safe passage, something, I don't know. But should they go hunt the sheriff, find those documents, or find their boss? Or nothing. One thing, nothing is always an option. Or something else. Something else is always an option. And actually, like, I really wanted to for this one to be. I really want like this to be one of the main like. I wanted this to be like a starter story because it does show off a lot what I want to experiment on with Crystal Chronicle Destiny. Then that it has three clear choices, unlike Yo's story. Yo's story is right now what I have as the first story. Whatever I decide to be the first story has to be the best way to introduce the gameplay that I want to explore, right? And just a Rilo story is very good for what I want to do. Like I said, it has three clear decisions to make, plus plenty others that the player can take. Your story starts with one decision to make at the beginning, then followed by another decision to make, then followed by an exploratory period in which the player has to make decisions. I mean, not do actions that can lead towards an outcome. It's more so there's one decision followed by another decision to a free form environment, and then by another kind of binary decision. Yeah, I mean, try to go to a more survivable place, or to stay in the least survivable environment. By that I mean, do you want to fight or do you want to flee, basically? And in that situation, it will be better to flee because you are severely outnumbered. The reason why I right now preferring that that story over Rilo story to be the first story is because first you're given one decision to make. Follow your partner, right? It is up to you to follow your partner, but there's so much that can happen depending on how you choose to if you choose to follow your partner and how you choose to follow your partner. Then the second decision is to will you accept the job, basically, right? On Joe's story, basically you just arrive at town and your partner has been there waiting for you, because the boss is waiting for them, so follow him to where the boss is, and then when you arrive there, the boss is gonna give you a job to do. However you decide to accept that job, and then will you be performing that job? That's the exploratory part. And then you have to do the the exploratory thing. That's okay. One thing about Nico that I need to find out. Let me see if I have it on the reference. Is that what kind of horns does he have? Actually, I really don't like this style of horns. See, by that I mean, let's see, let's go. Do I have more examples? Okay, I think a couple of examples are coming up. There we go. See, this horn thingy, and this one is blunted, and this one are more pointy, and there are reasons for that. I don't have more examples available. He's a farmhand, so I'm gonna make his blunted. Why is it important if it's blunted or pointy? There are a couple. I think there's more options than just either one of those two. But by blunted and pointy, one indication of social status. Being that pointy, it's mostly like a well-fed, well taken care of individual, a good, healthy individual, sort of. While the blunted ones are not. Him being a farmhand, right, working on the fields, mainly has to do with basically wearing those horns down. They're not exactly horns, but let's call them horns. Wearing those horns down, right? They're pointy, and the least active you are, the less wear happens to those horns. While the more active you are, the more wear. So him working on a farm makes him very active. Therefore, he should have blunt horns. Okay, how come something's not working? There we go. There we go. And one thing how I designed the hair also is partly decided by socioeconomic status, is that his hair is only on the side. Richer people, more wealthy people have hair also on top if you're male. Females are a bit different. And the boss in fact has hair on top because he's the boss, but this lowly farmhand does not. Okay, so like I was saying, so I like that there's two possibilities, two places to make a decision, and then an open exploration period followed by the consequences of whatever was it that you explored. So I kind of like that over Rilo's story, that you're first faced with the first decision, which is to even do something. That's the first decision. Do something or not to do something. And what is it? What to do? One of the things that you can do is go after the sheriff. Another thing that you can do is find the documents. And another thing that you can do is find the boss. But you cannot do all three at once. I mean, being that okay, one thing, especially how this kind of gameplay that I want to explore takes place, is that it's real time, right? There. That's why I'm emphasizing a lot about decision making. Usually in games, they don't continue until you decide to continue, right? Okay, for a second. I need a drink. I shall open this can of whatever. Yay. It's a nice sugary drink. Hopefully I can sleep after this. Okay, continue. Where was I? Lost the train of thought. Um, oh yeah, emphasizing decision making, and typically games do not continue until you decide to continue. Right? You are sent to go somewhere, and nothing will happen until you arrive. And you can do whatever you want to do in between before you arrive, right? You're crossing Mount Moon into um, again, I know it's not Celadon, but why do I want to say Celadon? It's not Celadon, is it? Pewter. Okay, how come I can't? It's not Saffron, it's not Celadon, it's not Pewter. Cerulean, there we go. So yeah, you go through Mount Moon to Cerulean City, and while you're one thing that happens in Mount Moon is Team Rocket shows up to steal the fossils, right? But basically, until you arrive there, Team Rocket is not stealing the fossils. It is until you arrive there that Team Rocket is trying to steal the fossils. So, I mean, you can say that in order to maintain those fossils safe, don't go into Mount Moon, right? So that's one thing that I kind of want to explore, that kind of gameplay that I want to explore, is that you're not given a chance to wait it out, kind of. You're not really given a chance to like explore. Things are still gonna happen whether you decide to do them or not. So, like I said, there's those three choices to make. But first, it's taking late night, early morning. I mean, they already tried to steal the document and failed. And so, of course, they waited till night to do it, so they can basically conceal themselves, right? And they failed at it, so it's just about to be morning. And when it's just about to be morning, the inspector will leave. So after the inspector leaves, there's no point of stealing the document. So one of the things they can do is steal the document to show it to the inspector before he leaves. And mission success. However, the boss is missing. The farm is his. So even if they succeed in that, where's the boss? And then there's the primal urge of revenge. One of your own has just passed away. Let's take revenge, right? That's something you can do. So there's, and well, if you try to do revenge, then the inspector, I mean, during the time that you're revenging, uh, time is passing. Morning's gonna happen, and when morning happens, the inspector leaves. And even if you catch the inspector, you need the documents to show him anything. Otherwise, you're wasting the inspector's time, right? You're basically just a bunch of ingrate farmhands, right? Uh, that don't appreciate what the Corley are doing for them. So you need the documents to show him otherwise. But wouldn't the boss? I mean, he's the main reason they're doing this. It's for the boss's benefit. It's for the, because he's a kind boss. He's been whatever. He's sacrificing a lot for them, so that's why they even decided to go and try once more. And so yeah, there's 3 decisions to make, but neither one is easy. Like if you choose one, you forgo the other 2. Should you just save the boss and try another day? Should you try to find the documents, show it to the inspector, and whatever is it that there's that's happening on their farm, or take revenge on their fallen comrade? And also one other thing that that helps this gameplay is the partners. I gave you 3 decisions to make. Make one, but you have 3 partners with you. They will make. They will also take those decisions. So again, spoiler. One of them will try to avenge the death. Another one will try to recover the documents, and the third one will try to save the boss. So, new layer. Are you abandoning the others? Are you joining the one that you agree with? So it's not an easy decision to make. You leave the farm towards town with 3 companions, but as you keep going deeper into the town, you will lose one after the other one, for they are seeking their goals. So is your goal aligned with theirs or with another one? And leave the other 2 on their own and join only one. So that's why I like Rilo's story. Is not only are you making your own decision, you will be choosing to either join or abandon the other team members. Right, as you head into the town, the first decision will be to go to after the sheriff. One of them will go after the sheriff. It is the others two do not want to go after the sheriff. They want to do something else. So will you join the one going after the sheriff and thus leaving the other two on their own? Or will you leave the one going after the sheriff to pursue on their own and keep going with the other two until the next decision comes up and you have to choose between the two, right? The next decision is, will you find the documents or will you seek out the boss, right? When you so when the decision that comes to go after the sheriff, the other two want to keep on looking for the documents, to go and retrieve the documents. But when they go to the place where the documents are, they find clues to where the boss may be. So one of them wants to go and search for the boss, while the other one wants to keep with the original plan and look for the documents. One of them will go and look for the boss and the other one for the documents. Which one will you join? And each one of the three, after you make that decision, is kind of an exploratory mode. That's okay. Again, the exploratory isn't like, I don't want to call it exploratory mode, but basically, you basically plays into the scenario of how are you gonna take down the sheriff? How are you sneak into the office? How are you going to release the boss? Right? There's decisions for you to make that you can succeed or fail at. Should I give more spoilers on his story? One more spoiler. The last big one. Kind of. It's not the biggest one. I guess that's a spoiler. That I just said that I will say this spoiler. Like, man, I didn't know that. But he said there's an even bigger one. So this must not be the last branch of the story. Either way, the one that I want to say is that the ones that you choose, the other two will fail. They're doing it alone, so they have no chance of succeeding. So whichever one you choose to do, it is up to your skills to succeed or fail at it, but the other two will fail at it. Okay, I didn't talk too much of how gameplay for Shirama's story is going to be. That one is much simpler. It doesn't require too much decision making. It's actually more on that exploratory mode. I mean, okay, first there's always the decision to do something, right? But like I said, on Shirama, Tomney has been captured. He was he was wounded on his last war. Okay, they're a warrior culture, so battle. There we go. He was wounded at his last battle. I was gonna say war. I mean, it sounds weird. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to war tomorrow. Then after I win that one, I have another war scheduled to, which would be true for the Mirai, but a battle. So he went into battle, seeking another triumph, another victory, but he was wounded, right? Well, not okay. Well, okay, he was wounded, but it was his support let him down. So it was simply more than he could handle, right? And the occasion, it was Azali who let Tomni, the guy, be wounded. That way, she can try to heal him, just like Shirama does. And that's why Shirama won his hand over. So she let Tomni get wounded. She kidnapped Tomni, but she is unable to heal him. So there's the clock. At what point will you arrive? In the room where Tomni is kept, because the entire time Shirama is not Shirama, Azali is trying to bring him back, heal him, but she does not know what to do. Shirama is a nurse, Azali is a warrior. So at what point will you arrive? That's the main gameplay, whatever, on Shirama's story. Being that you are sneaking through a fortress, which if anyone spots you, they will try to take you down. And like I said, Shirama. Wait, what? I've been calling her Shirama? Sienna. It's Azali, Sienna, and Tomni. Sienna. Whatever. Was I calling her Shirama? Can't recall. Shirama is from this story, from Rilo's story. But Sienna, in her story, she's an Arya. And Aryas naturally levitate. And they feel far more comfortable levitating than walking. But Mirais don't levitate, they walk like everyone else. So she is going to be awkward and slow while walking, but that's one of the best ways for her to blend in, to be moving slow and walking awkwardly. But in order for her to gain speed, to go through obstacles and all that kind of stuff, she has to levitate. But in turn, she is risking exposing herself, and thus being stopped by the guards of the region. Because there shouldn't be an Arya there. There should only be Mirai. By the way, this is a knife. A razor knife. Okay, one thing about weapons is that I'm trying to kind of make my own. I mean, like, Yol has a rifle, and I'll kind of explain a bit what a rifle is, which is not an actual rifle. Another kind of weapon is a razor. The thing about razors, they're bladed weapons. And another bladed weapon is a blade. And one would think, well, a sword is a bladed weapon as well. However, there are no swords here. So, right, the sword, the traditional sword, it has the handle here, then the guard, and then the blade, right? That's a sword. There's none of that. The general structure of a razor is that here is the handle, right? This is where it's handled. And this area over here is the blade, right? This is sharp, this is sharp, this is sharp, this is sharp, and this is sharp, right? Only on the handle is that you can grab it. Every other area is sharp, right? It can be like this. There's one blade that's like, what was it? Something like that. So this is a razor knife, right? A knife using the structure of a razor, which like is basically is the handle on the knife, on the blade. So here is the blade, right? This is the blade, whatever, and the handle is right here, right? It's not down here, and there's no guard on it. The handle is over here. So that's a razor. And then the other kind of bladed weapon is the blade, which I won't go over it here because, okay, fine, I'll go. The blade is more like your traditional sword, right? Here's the handle, here is the blade, but there is no guard, right? There is no guard. Like one of the blades that's used has this kind of shape. Another one, okay, that's the handle. It's basically like this. What's another one? Like that. So that is a razor. No, wait, sorry, that's a blade. And he is handling a razor, a knife, a razor knife. That is his weapon of fighting. Anyway, is that all? Okay. Now to apply the color. So I'm nearly done, and after I'm done, I can go to sleep. Okay, back to Sienna's story. So basically, Sienna is first a really big exploratory section in which he has to go from the entrance of the fortress to the room where Tomni is. And basically, however she reaches Tomni at whatever point, that's where the next part of the story will continue. Right? Tomni is, like I said, very wounded. Simply can't make it fast enough for you to be able to heal Tomni. So Tomni will die of his wounds. So the next decision is, will you take revenge? And try to take down Azali, who, remember, she is a warrior. You are a nurse. Okay, it's not working. It's not working. I'm trying to color. See, right now I'm right clicking. It's not doing anything. What am I doing wrong? I shall save. I shall close. I shall finish my drink. So I hope I can go to sleep after finishing the drink. And then I shall open Krita. Wait for Krita to finish opening. Open Rilo. And there, it is open. And there, it works. Should it be this brown? One thing, their skin color is on the red sides. So whatever it's red is an acceptable color. So yeah, this is a good color. And well, one thing that I like to do is color through the eyes and then later on define the eye colors. And there's gonna be something interesting with the eyes for this character. But first, let me maybe scale up the size a bit. And I know this time I didn't do it full screen, but whatever. I think the cat wants to get off the table. Okay. Okay, where was I? Sirama's story and how it relates to gameplay. So yeah, she has to sneak through the fortress, and the best ways to pass through are the slower methods, and the best ways to pass through are the more alerting methods. And well, the sooner you get to Tomney, would it be better? But basically, I mean, you do want to get there as soon as possible. And then you're gonna find Tomney dying, gonna share a moment, and then he passes on. So are you gonna pursue Azali afterwards? What will happen when you reach her? What are you gonna attack her with? Well, I guess you have those boomerangs, but she is a warrior, a Mirai warrior. Mirais are a warrior culture. You are a nurse. Will you succeed? Will you fail? And like the stuff that I read, that's when she succeeds. Okay, so now let me mark the color and do the eyes now. Now I'll do the hair. Again, they're mostly red. The red should be vibrant, more vibrant. So let's go with this red. Maybe I should have done the hair first. But there we go. Let me mark the color here. And now the eyes. One thing about the eyes is that they're black. I just wanted to do like, how would I go about doing a different colored white of their eyes, right? So there's actually two races with different colors on the white of the eyes. Usually the colors we want to use color in the eyes, we change the color of the iris, right? And for two races, one of them is being this one, a lore. Instead of the white of their eye, it's the black of their eye. So now the eye color. And one thing about hair and eye color, they tend to be the same. So I'll use the same for the eye color that I use for the hair color. There we go. Now, shirt color will be blue. Some sort of blue. There we go. That's a good one. So yeah, Serrano's story is simpler, right? You have motivation to go from point A to point B, and then something happens afterwards, after you reach point B. Then, of course, there is the fourth character and her story, and I will be telling that one tomorrow. Right, I'm not gonna jump ahead to tomorrow's drawing. I already did Yules and Sienna's, not Tirama, Sienna's story. So I just reiterated alongside with Rilo's story. Like I said, I'm not caring too much. I'm just laying down color, and that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do any kind of shading, any kind of anything else. I just simple shape, well, not too simple of a shape. Simple lines, right? They're not very well defined lines. They're just very concrete scribbles, reinforcing scribbles. To contain the color, and then just placing flat colors. Okay, let me mark the color. Next will be the pants. It shall be some sort of green. Actually, for the color will be something light. There we go. Mark that color. Next, like I said, the pants. Maybe something more sage green. There we go. Okay, what else can I talk to you? Oh, about the lore, as in lore, this species of people. Like I said, they're tall and lanky. Their skin color is predominantly red, and so is the hair color. Let me mark this color. One thing about them is they are very fire resistant. Let me grab some sort of brown. That's actually a good brown. They are extremely fire resistant. One place that you can find their cities built at are near or on volcanoes. One of their principal forms of agriculture is actually lava farming, where they plant their crops in actual molten lava, or fictional molten lava, but it's molten lava. It's not like solid lava, highly fertile lava soil, stuff like that. It's not that. It is in liquid magma or lava, whatever, whichever molten rock it is. And they can actually like step on lava and everything. Okay, now I'm gonna need something lighter. Let me go a bit towards the yellow and a bit towards there we go. That worked. And last is the blade, the razor. So let's give it a shiny silver on it. And there, let me mark that color. Actually, yeah, I was a bit lazy and I did not differentiate the color of the handle, but whatever, I'm done. And I go to sleep, and it's done. And unlike the last one, I'm actually gonna name it again this time around. So I am going to give it the name of Rilo. There we go. File, save. I'm saving the document. And after I save that document, I will be ending the stream. There we go. It is saved. I will be ending the stream. Go to sleep. And hopefully after I wake up, I'm going to link the Debian page where I will be uploading this image into. Link it with the YouTube video of this recording. And on the descriptions of the YouTube video of this recording, I will put a link towards the DeviantArt page where this drawing is stored. And yeah, that will be it. That sounds like a good plan. In a couple seconds I shall be going to sleep. So later.